Hey guys, I wanted to start off today's video with a little story actually. My daughter, if you guys don't know, she's in elementary school and I ride my bike to go pick her up because it's fun, you know? On the way there, the high school that I passed to get there, it had let out a little bit earlier than my daughter's school, and I saw these two kids bullying this other younger kid. Obviously younger, he was much smaller, much thinner, just your typical nerd, I guess you would say. You know, basically what I did is I ran over there and I started cheering on the bullies. Because basically, I don't care if they're in high school, bullying is bullying. It's fun as fuck. And then a bunch of the other fathers came out of the school actually from picking up their kids, and we all cheered these kids on as they started to beat up this nerd. Because we all know there's nothing better than getting that goddamn lunch money. And at this point the principal walked out, and the principal, let me tell you, woo! She is banging! So I catcalled her, but she just kind of ignored me. So what I did is I ran in front of her and she turned her back to me, kind of as like a, no, not this time. I'm not listening to you. So I grabbed her ass. I'm just kidding. None of that happened. None of that would ever happen. I would never condone any of that happening. But that's not what Gillette wants you to think. Gillette wants you to think that that's how all men are. Real talk. Stop using virtue signaling to sell products.
You're garbage.
Not for real though. It's time to stop. Welcome back. As usual, we are late to the party, baby. Ooh! And this time only by about a week. Today, we're going to be jumping into the whole Gillette ad controversy. And we're not only gonna be diving into the one failed ad, but we're gonna go back into time and go check out some of their previous advertisements and see just how they felt about masculinity in the past. But before we do that, I know a lot of you haven't seen the newest video, so let's break it down. The newest advertising monstrosity brought to you by Gillette is actually a short film titled We Believe. It's going to be a new series that Gillette's putting out on their YouTube channel, and we'll discuss their YouTube channel specifically fairly soon. But this commercial is called The Best Men Can Be. Now, if you're not familiar, Gillette's standard slogan was Gillette, the best a man can get. But apparently Gillette doesn't want to sell razors anymore. They want to lecture us on how to be men. And a lot of people actually really like this ad, but most people are tearing it apart. At the time of making this video, the ad has already been out on the market for everybody to watch for 4 days, and it is still number 39 on trending. I believe it got all the way up to number 12 within the first few hours of it being released. Now, it's already boasting 18 million views. That's a lot of money that they've earned off of an advertisement. But the craziest part about it is the like to dislike ratio. It's currently at 466,000 likes and over 900,000 dislikes. But why is that, you might ask? Well, let's break it down. Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
So the ad actually starts off with a few close-up pictures of men staring into the mirror, kind of curiously wondering if their questionable sex acts that weekend were gonna bring them STDs or not. And it looks like these men are like pondering their own life decision. It's not like it's an immediate thrust into, look at these brave men fighting back to make the world better. It looks like these men are deep in thought, not just about their questionable sex experience over the weekend and who they were with and what kind of STDs are going to pass along to their wife, but more of like questioning their past and how they've acted as men. And I think that's where the controversy starts.
Is it?
Bullying.
We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment.
It's been going on far too long.
The Me Too movement.
We can't laugh it off.
Bullying, sexual harassment, again, it's just repeating these phrases over and over, beating them into your head. If you were to describe the characteristics of men, what would you say? Would bullying come up? Sexual harassment? Would those be the first things you would think of? The scene moves on to a father figure in a kitchen, and he goes to grab his wife's behind.
Who's the daddy?
Apparently we're not allowed to do that anymore, but it fast forwards into a business setting, and the woman doesn't say anything. However, the man, who's obviously the power figure of the room standing at the head of the table, reaches a hand out to the woman sitting to his left and says what she meant to say is,
what I actually think she's trying to say.
And who knows what she actually said or what this meeting was about, but this is obviously a jab at mansplaining or cutting people off. And as we all know, yeah, people interrupt each other. I get interrupted all the time. In most cases, it's not a man degrading a woman because she's a woman, it's just two people talking. And if one person's in power, obviously their decisions override those that are not in power. Man or woman, doesn't fucking matter.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
But
Boys will
something
be boys.
finally
Boys will
changed.
be boys. So apparently it's not okay for boys to wrestle at a backyard barbecue anymore. I don't know about you guys, but I was wrestling with my father in my early 20s. Those are some of my most cherished memories with my dad, was roughhousing, drinking a couple beers, barbecuing up some tri-tips, and frolicking in the grass, you know what I mean?
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
Am I saying that I'm better than you? I guess I'm going a little further than you are. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you. You are garbage.
And then of course they're gonna spearhead this whole thing with Anna Kasparian, none other than the Young Turks Armenian genocide denier. Nice move. I mean, she is fucking better than you.
Much better than you. You are garbage.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Now, we can all agree with that. This part of the film right there, that has nobody up in arms. Men should be holding other men accountable. If you see somebody bullying somebody, yes, you should put a stop to it. If you see a fight going down, you should report it or try to put a stop to it. If you see somebody sexually molesting somebody, you should put a stop to it. If somebody is attacking my family, I'm going to put a stop to it. Smile, sweetie.
Come on.
To say the right thing.
Apparently it's not cool to flirt at parties anymore.
To act the right way.
Bro, not cool.
It's definitely not okay to talk to girls in public. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned from this video already is that I need more marginalized friends. I need more friends that are people of color, because obviously white men don't know how to stop themselves, as is evident in this video that no white man actually stopped themselves from doing anything wrong, and it was always a minority of some sort that corrected the negative behaviors displayed.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men, we're acting like we're gonna shake it.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay?
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
It's only by challenging ourselves to do more that we can get closer to our best. Basically, what I'm really actually getting from this advertisement is that somehow it's a challenge for me to not bully, to not fight, to not sexually harass, to not chase down women, to not victimize minorities. I know that there was good intention behind this ad. I know that they're kind of nudging us and challenging us to do better, but I also know that that's not the only thing that Gillette was trying to do. It might just be, who knows, like they misspoke or something, and we're gonna go over their response because it was just released today, but we don't need to be lectured. If I'm a rapist, if I'm a real shitty adult, there's no stopping me with a razor ad. Your job is to sell razors, and let me tell ya, These guys were on point with their advertising campaign. Now I know at this point in the video you might be thinking, wait, what? They're on point with their advertising campaign? What do you mean? Simple. These guys made a video that at most cost them $5,000 to $10,000 to produce. They put it up on YouTube. They knew this video would go viral. They knew that it would be in a negative way. They knew that it would be attacked and sensationalized, and they were absolutely 100% right. They are taking the very play out of Nike's book. When Nike made their Colin Kaepernick ad, everybody was shouting, "Get woke, go broke." And what happened? Sure, people made videos, there was outrage for sure, and I'm positive that some people don't wear Nike anymore, but their stocks dipped a little bit and then flew right back up. Their stock soared, merchandise flew off the shelf, selling out completely. And the only damage to Nike was a 4% dip in their stock for a very short period of time. Now this ad has obviously made a lot of controversy, but it's really challenged what everybody thinks of traditional masculinity, and in a way has demonized it. And Gillette has responded to all the backlash against this ad, and this is what they said: if we get people to pause, reflect, and to challenge themselves and others to ensure that their actions reflect who they really are, then this campaign will be a success. I don't think that they understand their base. Are there shitty men? Yes, absolutely. Are the majority of their customer base, the men that they sell these razors to, shitty men? No, of course not. Are we all perfect? Absolutely not. But this ad was devised in a way that obviously demonizes us and traditional masculinity. But now let's take a look at some of Gillette's older advertisements and see how they really feel.
Harry, did you fix the disposal?
Dad, my bike's broken. The hair car.
Gillette introduces good news. A new kind of twin blade razor.
Back in the 70s, they produced this ad. This ad kind of made me chuckle because I can relate. This is relatable. And that was the whole point of making this ad, was to relate to me. I have a wife and a daughter. My daughter is always asking me to fix something. And if it's not my daughter, it's my wife.
To prove to you that the man-sized Remington electric shaver will give you a close, comfortable shave.
Note the term man-size, referring to its bulkiness. Men are supposed to be big, strong, powerful, but not today. But what about not so long ago even, when they endorsed Clay Matthews and sponsored him to endorse the Gillette ad?
Turn your world upside down with Gillette Fusion Pro Glide.
Big, bulky, strong, powerful, rough, brutal, savage. It might not be me, but they're using all the qualities that this man possesses to sell their razors. And then came their signature ad, the one that is most popular, most famous, and has that signature sound that everybody you know remembers. Starts off with a wedding, bros being bros, a man being successful presumably in the stock market, another man with great physique running, portraying power and strength, being a father and teaching your kids, having great family relationships, real qualities of real men. Even catcalling women was okay back then. Catcalling women probably isn't a good thing. You probably shouldn't do it. But if it wasn't for talking to strangers, even just in public, most relationships wouldn't exist. You gotta start somewhere. You can't make friends by not talking to people. You can't make relationships work by not talking to people.
When people even gonna have dicks in the future, it just seems like everything's going away so fast, man.
Yeah, they're trying to do that with this new Gillette commercial.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really like my wiener, so I'm gonna try to hold on to it as long as possible, if you know what I mean.
All these guys are really mad because it's like an anti-masculine Gillette commercial. It makes like every man look like a misogynist piece of shit. It's such a disturbing commercial. It's like over and over again, men doing douchey shit. Like, hey bro, aren't you selling razors?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You changing the world with your shitty fucking advertiser-based philosophy? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Who fucking greenlit this?
I know.
If I was at Gillette, I'd be like, yo, guys. People get hair, they want to fucking shave it. It's not that complicated. Imagine if you're a sexist, rapist piece of shit, and you see that Gillette commercial, like, damn, I gotta switch my game up. I've been too much of a dick. Like, does anybody think that Gillette commercials are somehow or another in any way, shape, or form gonna affect culture?
It's bad.
You're selling razors.
It's bad,
That's
bro.
it. It's just a razor.
I'd rather braid my fucking face hair than buy Gillette
But
again.
nobody wants to be lectured to. We're tired of that.
So sick of that.
Stop it. You don't have your shit together. Nobody has their shit together. And you telling people how to get their shit together in a fucking razor blade ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be racist. We know. Yeah, don't be a sexist. Yeah, we know. We know. Most people aren't.
Yeah.
This, like, you got it like most people are. The video's like most people are. It's not most people are.
It's crazy.
That's a disproportionate amount of people that are.
The moral of the story, like Joe Rogan said, is that we are tired of being lectured to. We are tired of being told that we are not good enough, that we are not man enough, that we are not perfect in the world's eyes. We already know it, and we are constantly trying to do better. Should we hold other men accountable? Of course, and we do. Sexual harassment, rape, bullying, fighting. None of this is looked at as acceptable behavior in our society. It never was okay. And by all measures, today is the best that we've ever been. And we continue to be better. Looking down upon us from your moral high horse and telling us that we are not good enough and to buy your razors is probably the shittiest advertising campaign I've ever seen in my entire life. Luckily, I don't use razors. But if I did, I wouldn't be buying one of yours. So now if you would, please join me as we take a dive into the comment section. Next Gillette ad will be guys shaving their legs. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with that, but probably. We'll never shop with you again. Get woke, go broke. Unfortunately, they probably won't, even though they only hold about 20% of the market share at the moment. Here's a good point by Raymond Charles. Toxic masculinity. 43% of boys are raised by single women. 78% of teachers are female, so almost half of the boys who have 100% female influence at home and 80% influence at school. Toxic masculinity is not the problem. Lack of masculinity is. Which is like a topic for a completely different video. But if you've been listening at all to the likes of Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, all of those internet personalities, there's definitely something to be said about the lack of a father figure in the home. Many people actually speculate that one of the main reasons that most African American boys are not graduating high school today is because of the massive increase in fatherless homes. Just food for thought, and it's definitely a topic we can take a look at in the future. But apparently only white guys need to work on not being toxic masculine. Nice grammar, but yeah, we pointed that out. Again, all of the examples of men doing negative shit were all white dudes, and it was always a person of color stopping them in this advertisement. It's obviously a talking point and a massive call to the left. Thanks for the moral advice, multinational company that was recently caught profiting off forced child labor and price fixing. Yeah, I mean, enough said on that one, right? Now, currently the dislike ratio is way greater, but at the time it was 680,000 dislikes when I took this picture. 680,000 times $5 equals $3.4 million loss on sales this week alone. Maybe. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on the stocks. I imagine the staff deleting comments must be getting tired now. And this is where it gets good. We actually saw a lot of the comments getting deleted on day one. Mainly because people were putting stuff like this. After shaving with my non-binary, non-cisgender Gillette razor, my wife sent me back to the friend zone. A little less positive, but... And of course, the number one comment in the entire comment section I've ever seen goes to No Thanks Dude. No Thanks Dude says, my wife's boyfriend loved this. thank you. I gotta be completely honest, the first time I read this, I had to read it like 3 times before I really figured out what he meant. And if you look underneath it, it actually looks as though they had to post this comment 3 different times because Gillette kept deleting it, which just makes it that much funnier in my eyes. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like on this video. That'll really help me. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, ring that bell notification, check me out on Patreon, and of course, if you want to continue these conversations on a daily basis or just play some video games with me, go ahead and drop me a follow on Twitch. The link is down in the description. We'll bring you more videos like this as the time goes by. Thank you so much for being here, and if you've made it this far into the video, give me a hashtag of some sort down below. The current trending one because of this video is hashtag boycott Gillette, but go ahead and put whatever you think is appropriate, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks as always, and I will see you next time.